Hey guys, it's Dale Anderson here. I hope you're keeping well. Today I wanted to talk about how I would invest if I had less than £50,000 to get started off in properties. So firstly, please note this is not to be misconstrued or mistaken for financial advice. It's important to understand there are two questions here. If all your savings added up to 50k or less, personally we would initially perhaps not invest in a property if that's all we had. In the bank. If this is the case, we would look to educate ourselves first. So the first thing we would do is educate. I'd probably spend £10,000 on education, including books, audio books, going to events, signing up for podcasts with property investment experts. Once we're confident in our knowledge, we could then look at putting some of those skills into practice and see how we can invest with as little money as possible, in particular if we only have less than £50,000. So the first thing we would consider is a possible rent-to-rent strategy where you simply rent a property out for a period of time. Typically this would be 3 or 5 years. And then you pay the owner almost like a guaranteed rental, so they don't have to worry about what rent they got coming in and out. But you then rent that property out on a short-term let serviced accommodation, or you can rent it out for a slightly higher price. Now obviously not all landlords are going to be happy with this, but you do get landlords who may be based offshore and they're not too worried as long as you're managing the property and looking after it. So you would need to make them aware and get their permission to do so you don't run into any trouble. So that's one way to make money with very little money down. The second thing you could do is you could put down a deposit on a property investment. It's likely not going to be in London. It'll probably be outside of London, maybe a commutable town, or you could look at cities like up north such as Preston, Sheffield, where you can invest with say 20% down on an off-plan deal, and then the balance you can pay on completion. You then take out a mortgage subject to credit status. The banks will have to check your credit status. You then watch the property get built and constructed, but you do want to make sure that you have used a reliable property investment company who take their due diligence seriously and can show you all the supporting evidence that your rent, this most important thing, is cash flow positive. So what you want is a mortgage, understand what your buying power is, and then buy a property where you feel there is good scope for growth. Maybe there's some regeneration going up in the Northern Powerhouse in one of these cities, and that there's also going to be a high rental demand on the property. So you've put down your £30,000 or £40,000, you're going to mortgage the rest. For example, one of my first investments was an apartment just outside of Croydon in a lovely neighbourhood called Sanderstead. It's a 2-bedroom flat, paid £200,000. I put down a 20% deposit, so around £40,000 up to £50,000, including my buying costs. I rent that out every month, so say my rent's giving me £1,200 per calendar month, and then my mortgage repayments every month on interest only is about £300 a month, and on capital repayments I'm probably paying around £800. So I know that my debt is covered by the tenants. It's a great way to start building a property portfolio. You can then maybe in a couple of years' time look to release some equity or release some of the refinance the property to add to your portfolio and buy another property. So that's what I'd do if I had less than £50,000. You could also look to potentially buy into a development and getting some finance to refurbish or flip a house. That's a bit of a shorter term strategy, and probably what you want to decide, okay, am I an active investor? That means I want to educate myself on flipping, refinancing, all this other stuff. I want to be a professional investor, and eventually, that could be my full-time job. Number 2 is your passive investor, people who maybe are doctors, lawyers, they've already got their profession, they're very busy, they don't really have much time. And in that case, you want to find someone who can assist you, property consultant or expert, and ideally you want something fully managed, so like a new build apartment, close to a business district where there's going to be high rental demand, and you know that you can invest, and even a mortgage rate of 5 or 6%, your rental income is going to cover your costs like your service charges, upkeep, as well as your mortgage payments, and then you've still left a little bit of cash flow income every month, and from there you can start to build a robust and reliable portfolio by doing refinancing, equity release, and yeah, just being smart about your money and, you know, saving. Don't overspend on luxury cars or things like that. Try and really accumulate as much savings as you can, because the more money you have, the more properties you can buy, and the quicker you'll be able to retire, live the life you want on your terms, and enjoy financial freedom. So that's my advice. That's what I've done personally on my property investment journey. I hope this video helps. We'll keep you up to date on the next series, which will be how to invest if you had more than £50,000. Please do remember to subscribe, like the channel, and yeah, follow us for further updates. It's been great giving you this information, and we'll keep the information and the education coming. All the best. Take care. Thanks. Bye.